Mr. Weissman, it is a real pleasure to have you here tonight. Thanks very much.
Nice to be here, Rachel.
So is it overstating the case to talk about election interference here, to talk about not just the president fighting to make sure that the election, that he has every chance of winning the election to the end, but actually pressuring election officials to falsify these results? To me, that puts this in the category of potentially criminal behavior.
So you're right on. I know that you like to say that you're not a lawyer and you turn to lawyers as guests, but your instincts are completely right here. So first, there are two types of statutes that are at issue here. One is very specific, and it relates to election interference, 18 U.S.C. 241 and 242. What's interesting historically is those statutes came about because of emancipated slaves and the concern that people were going to interfere with their votes. There are also general statutes, such as the statute that prohibits falsifying records, falsifying documents that you would submit to court, such as the election results or committing wire fraud or mail fraud. All of those are potentially involved here, depending on what the facts are. But pressuring state officials to falsely certify or to undermine correct votes is a federal crime. And that raises the issue that you really started on when you talked about Spiro Agnew, which is, are we a nation where those at the highest levels of this country will be held to account if they commit a federal crime? And it's also one reason it cannot be the case that it's constitutional for the president to pardon himself, because at this stage, he would be free to commit all sorts of election interference and then just pardon himself and avoid ever being held to account for that wrongdoing. And it's just impossible to think that that's something that the framers intended to be the result here.